Good morning, friends. Are you hearing me? Hello? Anyone hearing me?
We can hear you, Mr.
Teacher,
Dongo.
we
Good
hear
morning.
you. Good morning.
Somebody pray for us. Pray for us. Anyone to pray for us? No one ready to pray this morning? Oh. Letitia, are you praying? Can see your microphone.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Humble ourselves for prayer. Lord Father, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for helping us wake up safely. Help us so that whatever we are going to do in this lesson, so that we understand it, and so that we don't leave it here. We take it in our mind and we use the advice. Thank you for helping us for everything. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for helping us to be healthy and continue. In Jesus' name I prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Letitia. And I know that many of us are preparing for exams today, but we are happy that you are showing up again today because agriculture or agribusiness will have to continue despite any other challenges because we need to feed, we need to have money. So this morning we are going to start from St. Mary's College Kisubi, where we are going to meet a history teacher who is going to show us the relationship between history as a subject and agribusiness as a sector. And I think it will be very informative for us. So listen in carefully and let us review his submissions after the video. I wish you good viewing.
My name is Mugabe Yofes. I'm a history CRI teacher. I'm a head of history department at St. Mary's College Kisubi. First of all, history is both art and science. Those who say history is always art, they are deceiving themselves. They don't know what they are talking because it is practical. As you are seeing, I'm going to explain how practical it is. When you are introducing history as a subject, you tell students, first of all, the three branches of history: the political history, the economical history, and the social history. But very, very unfortunate, very many people concentrate on social and political history and forget about economic history, without which the country, the society, the home cannot survive. That's why, dear students or whoever is listening to me, if a home is not having food, if you are a father, as an administrator, as a political leader in the home, that home is a dead one. You are going to lose leadership. The children will not respect you. The wife will not respect you. The country, the same story. That's why you see the country's leaders, the president, put a lot of effort in NADS to supplement, of course, their political work and social life. Now, I have said history is composed of political, economic, and social aspects. And me, I'm concentrating on economic now. Every society, right from pre-colonial society, pre-colonial history, we survived on those 3 pillars, but more importantly, the economic. I want to relate with the modern world, economic part of history. Talk about America, talk about China, talk about the Arab world. Today, the China and Arab world are taking over because of the economic base. Trade, economic activities are booming, and they are threatening the political strength of the so-called superpower. So we can also be superpowers in our own way, in our homes, in our countries. We can make Uganda a superpower from the economic part of it. And when the economy is not strong, the social part is going to die, because we are going to have some of our society members going to steal food. From there, they are going to start killing each other for food, for cattle, for goats. So I encourage each and everyone listening to me to balance those 3 aspects and take economic part very, very serious. I studied, but I have done all this myself. I have not put any labor. Very soon, if my farm enlarges, I will employ people, and those are jobs. So the economic life of history involves crop growing, animal keeping, all types of animal. Of course, fishing, we can have fish ponds, okay? We can have all sorts of economic activities. You can see my garden. I have about 90 roasters of banana, 90 of them. Just simple calculation. And I show you how the impact it has on the economy. This is not my land, by the way. This is just a garden in the staff quarter, a small plot, but I have 90 roasters. If I'm selling this banana at, for instance, cheaply 25,000, if it's ready, 25,000 times 90, assume that the 90 roasters, all of them have at least 1 banana each. So 25 times 90, that is roughly 2,250,000. That's not, you know, just a single cut, a single harvest. That's not bad. So for you who are studying economics, you know what I'm talking about. This money can take my children to school. I can start another business, not only farming. But assume, let me assume I'm going to harvest 3. I'm going to make 3 harvests in a year, 3 times a year. So times 3, that is 6,750,000. But this is I have put this banana at the lower side of it. It can even go to 30, 35, even 40 when we don't have enough food in the market. So I encourage students, I encourage parents, and everyone, whether a politician, a teacher, to engage in farming. I call upon history teachers to be practical. I told you history is not only art, it is science as well, because you can see I'm going practical. This is the economic part of history. When you are teaching about economy and economic branch of history, people of long time ago, how they lived through crop growing, especially banana, like the Bantu. What can you do today if they lived by growing banana and getting, you know, surviving through it? What about today? What can we do to survive and actually get money out of it? So let the history teacher be exemplary. And actually, I would like that schools start having demonstration gardens. Every child can have about 5 roasters of banana. For example, in a school setting, even in a modern compound, a modern home, you can have these roasters of banana. Take care of them very well, okay, in a designed way in the compound, maybe near the wall fence, and they look like a flower. Why do you plant those palms which where you're not going to harvest, and they also look like a flower? Me, in my own view, I would plant this banana, take care of it very well. It looks like a flower, but I'm harvesting something for eating and also selling. So I'm also writing a concept note, which I will share with Mr. Dungu, and maybe I will get funders among you people who are listening to me, and we roll out this project. And you see what the history people can do for this country. apart from teaching history. But by the way, history is very relevant in our lives today. It is only those people who don't understand it or who don't want other people to understand it that go talking about against it. Every subject is important because we interdepend on each other.
Our society is moving into the urban setting.
Yes.
What is going to become of the old farming system?
Yes.
And as a history teacher, how do we move?
Yes, our society is transforming into a modern setup, a modern setting, and actually we are not going to have such big plantations in acres. First of all, I would like to appreciate Mr. Dungu. In 2008, he took us for a visit, a camp visit, a farm visit at Dr. Naluima's place. He's one of the best farmers, not only in Uganda, but in East Africa, maybe in Africa perhaps. If you see what she has on just an acre of land, it's amazing. Now, assume you have your home just on 1 acre. What can you do? Let me assume it is a hotel. Just a hotel. Can we have bananas somewhere? They look very well, like, you know, a demonstration garden like flowers. You get food for that very hotel. But at the same time, people who have come to eat also learn something from there. At the same time, it is actually designed. I want to show you something, Mr. Dungu. This is not very good, but I want to show you. You see? Do you see this part here? From the other side. Actually, I'm going to cut those which look like yams and put something that is edible. You see, these are vegetables. I harvest something here. Okay? The other one is that grass you see, the chisubi. You see the chisubi? Yes. I cut something there for tea. The tomato. Now I'm going to, behind there I have some tomatoes, behind, I'm doing backyard farming. I'm going to put spinach. And spinach looks like a flower, yet I can harvest something. This is, if I assume this is a town and modern setting, but I'm not buying spinach, I'm not buying tomato, but at the same time they look like flower. Why should I plant something I don't harvest on completely, I don't eat anything? I spend to take care of it. I think you are getting the essence of what I'm saying. So everything we do, we should maximize to get profits, to get money, to get food for survival. Just on this one alone, I can get something to feed my family for some days, and I keep doing it time and again. This is something I can water, and I continue harvesting. This is the green, medicinal and very sweet. Here I'm starting. I started the rabbit project. First of all, I get manure from the rabbit. I got some sieves who intruded here and stole some of them, but I'm going to restock. I have some of them here. So I have 2 in this cage, okay? And I get manure out of it. So I get manure here. The urine, we mix it with some, there is some herb. We are trying to, if we can get some scientists to test it, Mr. Dungu, we have some wild plant, we mix with the urine for rabbits, mix it with some red pepper, then some ash, and we get chemical, the organic spray for these greens. I don't use these chemicals from the shops, which people say that are very dangerous. Now, the only challenge here, you see, come and see my tomatoes. There is a problem of tomato wilt because it is my first time to do it. You see my tomato? I'm eating tomatoes, which are organic because I'm not using the chemicals. I'm not using chemicals. This is backyard farming. Now here, because it is near the house, next time I will put spinach, which is near and looks like a flower. And I can put tomatoes somehow, some distance far from the house. And this is the healthy products we want. You see?
So talk again about that herb you were talking about. How have you been mixing it?
I wish I could show you that herb. It is near the road there. There is a certain, you know, Mr. Bambale? Yeah, he's using the same. We mix that herb with the urine of rabbits. We put some red pepper. Then ash from the stove. After cooking, we collect that ash, mix it, and get the spray, the organic spray to our plants.
So it's what you use.
Yes. But some of these plants are dying out because of the wilt, the bacterial wilt. The soil has wilt, so I needed to treat it first before planting. Maybe burning, or I treat the soil and put in the pots.
So what should we do to bring such knowledge to the teachers? Because you've said that all of us are both arts and science.
Yes.
So how do we, I can hear you talk a lot about science, and you are a history teacher. So you are science already. What should we be doing to bring, one, that interest you gained, but also that knowledge to the teachers so that it can now filter through to the students?
Now, first of all, I was thinking about to research, getting some people who with expertise to research and get the conclusion of this kind of spray we are talking about. But then, what you are doing already is one way of getting this information to the teachers. And of course, organizing camps and encouraging the teachers to attend. And the government should support this initiative because it is the way to go. I told you, first of all, if all of us are rich, the government political system is very strong because they get the taxes from what these ones, when we sell, they get the money. We also have the money we can take to good schools. We can buy and pay taxes. So the government should support, and these things should be actually right from schools, because there are these children who are going to be in different fields, but they can do farming as well. So they should have a positive attitude towards farming in whatever they do. And actually, every subject can include farming in whatever they teach. I have told you how I do it in history. And if I go to CRE, I can tell you how it works. There is a topic of work. There is a topic of happiness. If I don't have this food and my children are sleeping hungry, we are going to fight with my wife and children, and the family will break. Tomorrow I will not go to work. I'm going to work when I'm very annoyed, and the children will not pass. So in other words, every setup will completely die. So this is the way to go. So I can take you, you see this banana? I can take you around now. You can see here, this banana, I'm going to harvest 3 bunches almost at a go. And during Christmas, I'm going to have food. And I'm also going to get money. We are in COVID, we are not teaching, assuming that I'm not on government payroll, but I can get something to eat during Christmas because of at least this demonstration garden I have put in my home.
Okay, I hope you've been able to listen in to our history teacher. And as usual, we would like to reflect on that, but also if you are taking us to your garden, please put up your hand so that we know. Mr. Masaba, whom do we expect on the list today, and are they already here?
I seem not to be seeing any of them. But
Okay.
let me first find out from this one who has been online here.
Okay, let's reflect on the video. For those who came in later, we've been visiting a teacher at St. Mary's College, Kisubi, Mr. Mugabe Yofes, who is a history teacher, and he has been telling us how history can bring about good governance, how economic history can lead to good governance. Anyone who has a comment, Mr. Mugabe was to reflect on what Mr. Mugabe has been saying, anything you have learned out of this. The lines are open. You could open your microphone and talk to us. The teachers, what comes to your mind? What should we be doing? What has Mr. Ayofes said? The students, what comes to your mind for your schools, for your teachers, everyone in this country? This is also another skill of listening to video and reflecting on it that we are getting into at Holistic E-Learning Platform. Yes, Mr. Masaba.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. And I want to quickly respond to that teacher at St. Mary's College, Suvi. What I've picked from him is that I didn't know these flowers we plant in the compound look that beautiful. And what I've realized is that maybe that beauty ends in photos when you pose. You want to take a photo, that is where the beauty of it, but we've not been getting anything from those flowers. Maybe also people recommending that there is that beautiful flower at so and so's compound, and that is where it ends. According to this video, I realized that instead of having those flowers in the compound, of course, we don't stock flowers, but you can plant something that is like a flower. You can pause and take a photo. You can maybe get recommendation from people that there is a good flower at the other side. But in the end, what I've picked is that you must harvest it and maybe do something with that thing you put in the compound. So I quickly buy that idea of him having spinach, having tomatoes. Tomatoes are flowers. I didn't know. They have some flowers when they are trying to flower and they're about to. So have tomatoes, have cabbages, yeah, around your compound. Let them look like flowers, but in the end, you harvest them and maybe it gets you some small money or it saves you from going to the market and buy it. I've picked that one as me, and we have very many flower gardens in my school and at my place here. Maybe that is what I'm walking away with. It's a challenge to me. Thank you so much, Mr. Doom, for that man you brought for us this morning.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Masaba. Probably if the flower is giving you money, there is no big problem. But if you're going to pause for a photograph in your flower when you have no food, then that photograph will not come out well. So food and poverty, lack of food and poverty become a great problem to our society. And we need to find ways and means of enhancing the economic part of our home, economic part of our country. I think that's what he's talking about from the history point of view. Anyone else? Anyone who had the mathematics? I saw this history man teaching mathematics in his garden. I want the mathematics students here. Anyone who has studied mathematics on this call? Anyone who has studied mathematics on this call, could you tell us, take us through the mathematics this man did this morning? Anyone who studied mathematics? I want a student here who studies mathematics, either at primary or at secondary. Take us through the mathematics this man did this morning. It's 6 a.m. too early for people. They are on the call, but they are a little sleepy. They are not about to say anything. Let's see. This man had a calculator. I think he was using his phone. He had a calculator. So who is reminding us about the mathematics that we've done this morning? I hope somebody is not going to ask me to replay the video. And yet, English language needs to teach us more about listening and reflecting. Eh? Okay, the mathematics that was in the video, anyone who listened to it? Maybe the teachers can remind us. The teachers, did anyone listen to the mathematics? Now I open the floor to everyone. No one saw the man calculating.
Mr. Dumni can hear you from here. I don't know whether these people are hearing us.
I don't know. Maybe they're not hearing me.
We have Bet here. I know Bet is doing submath, but I think submath is math.
Resta tutor says I missed that part. Hannah, go ahead.
Teacher, I would answer you, but I just joined, and the only thing I heard you say was I joined when you were asking for the answers. So I don't exactly know which man you're talking about, or.
Okay, Hannah missed the video. Hannah missed the video. She'll catch up with the video some other time. Letitia.
Yes. All that I remember was the man was multiplying 25 plantations. He was multiplying 25,000 because he was saying that each banana mature one might cost that one, and he said that he had like 90. So he was multiplying 25 times 90, I think.
Okay. Dear students, I can see somebody. What has he said? Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, pick your calculators, students. This is what the gentleman in the video was saying, that history teacher. And I want you to take note that he's a history teacher, but he has this good garden, and he has planted about 90 stools, 90 plants. Each stool, I think the agriculture people told me, we call it a stool. A stool has like 3 plants, because we had from St. Mary's College to Surrey again, they were telling us to do some good farming and leave only 3 plants per stool so that they don't overcompete for food. But each stool had 1 mature plant, 1 mature fruit, 1 mature banana ready, and he calculated that if each harvested banana was taken to the market and it fetched 25,000 shillings, and you have 90 bananas harvested, how much money is that? So what is the amount of money gained by the farmer if the farmer has 90 ready bananas to go to the market, and each is expected to fetch 25,000 shillings? How much money does the farmer expect to get at the market? So what multiplication do you do there? You remember yesterday we said that when you're on the blackboard and you just put the figures, the students are quick to multiply. When you put it in some bit of the story or framework of the farmer, they lose it. Shannon.
2,250,000 shillings.
Okay, type it in the chat. Type it in the chat as Shannon says it again. Shannon, what is that?
2,250,000 shillings.
2,250,000 shillings. Now, remember, this money does not come in at a go, but maybe it comes in every other month, bits and pieces, but at the end of the day, Shannon is telling us that it is 2,250,000. Now, he has also told us that in a year, each stool produces 3 bunches, bunches of banana, sorry. Now, in a year, when we multiply that times 3, what does it give us? Anyone with a quick calculation in the chat? You see the gentleman had his calculator. He had his calculator in the garden. And I imagine this was a mathematics teacher, but he was a history teacher, helping us mathematics teachers to teach multiplication, to teach division, to teach addition. Okay, so when you multiply that by 3, how much do you expect to get in a year? Yes, Shannon?
6,750,000 shillings.
6,750,000 shillings. Okay, I just want to look back at these 2 years of COVID, where we've been in a lockdown, we've been in some bit of challenging times. And I'm just wondering, if this was multiplied by 2, what do we get? Somebody is multiplying that by 2. Shannon must be a very good mathematician. Shannon, yes, go ahead. Somebody type it in the chat. Shannon is going to say it. Type it in the chat.
13,500,000 shillings.
13,500,000 shillings. Now, to my colleagues, the mathematics teachers, this is quick mathematics we should be doing with our students, but we should not be doing it on the blackboard. We should not be doing it in the forward classroom. We should be doing it from the demonstration garden at school, from your own demonstration garden as a teacher. I think that is the message from this history teacher. And you can see how the history teacher is helping us to do quite a lot of mathematics. And I can imagine we can learn quite a lot of mathematics from this history teacher's garden. And how I wish it was my mathematics teacher who was delivering on this. Okay, I want to ask the agriculturalists here, our experts. This gentleman talked about a pesticide that they're trying to come up with, or they use. They take urine of rabbits plus a certain herb, then plus red pepper, and then plus ash. Now, what are the nutrients or ingredients in all of this mixture? We don't know what the herb is, but what about the other things? Can we reflect on that? Our agriculturalists here, college scientists. What is it about the urine of rabbits? Yesterday, I think throughout the weeks, we've had people tell us about raising rabbits. What is it about the urine of rabbits? Hannah?
Teacher, I think that they use the rabbit urine because it has acid which can burn the pests or the weeds. I think that's why they use the rabbit urine. But since it can burn, it has acid, so that's why they want to combine it with other ingredients to reduce the effect, to avoid it from burning the crop which they want to grow.
The urine for rabbits is acidic. I know in my chemistry lessons we used to test the pH. Yes, Mark. Mark, come. Maybe you will tell us something more. Is that Mark Onyango Okumu? Okay, Patrick.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Dungu and the listeners. What I know about the rabbit urine is not acidic. it has a pungent smell that repels the insects or the pests. That pungent smell repels. And then the ash that they add in, it is the ash that forms a weak carbonic acid, which is now poisonous. It is the ash that forms the acid, but the rabbit urine is for the pungent smell. I think that's where the combination comes from. Thank you.
And the pepper?
I'll have to find out about the pepper, Mr. Dung. I'm not sure.
Okay, and I think, Patrick, we need to go back to St. Mary's College Isubi and look at this herb. We harvest it, maybe it can be dried, and this is where the scientists, researchers need to come in. And for me, I find this very interesting as we do the Early Bird Farmer series. We discover knowledge. The other day, we had that young lady who was telling us about another way of doing it. And probably she's been working for them. Why don't we research around it and see if we can develop organic fertilizers out of it? I think that is very interesting. Yes, Patrick,
Yes,
you want to add?
Yes, it is very possible, Mr. Dungu. We can go about it.
Okay. Mr. Masaba, do we have any farmer on the call?
Yeah, Mr. Dung, we have Gabi. And Gabi was supposed to present yesterday, but I think things didn't work out, and she's here with us this morning. She has just told me her poultry project is ready, and maybe she has already set up herself, and let's find out from her.
Okay, Mr. Masaba, over to you, and we listen to our farmers this morning.
Gabi, I'm told you're walking to the farm, but may you open your microphone as you walk there. Maybe you talk to us, you can greet us. And maybe when you reach there, you can then open your microphone. Your camera. Then we also have another farmer. I think she will be coming in at the later time to talk about some farm that promised to show us. But I think maybe 6 a.m. is too early. Some of them request they want to present at 8. I think we'll be getting there soon. So Gabi, let us know. Open your microphone, Gabi.
Yes, here I'm using a picture, so I'm joining the meeting on the tab.
You're joining on the tab. Okay. It's okay. We will be waiting for that second device to come in. And we've been talking about a lot here this morning. Flowers, exchange. So maybe we need everyone to pick away that knowledge. If you have like during the farm camp, my garden challenge, I saw many students were calling flowers their garden, and maybe we shall need to talk to them. We share with them this video, and they know that that flower garden can change, and you have some bananas, and it still brings in some small number. Gabi, when you get ready, you let us know. Anna Manire, are you still there?
Yes, teacher.
Tell us about your tomatoes. Are they getting ready? You've not blogged about tomatoes the whole of this week?
Yeah, I've not, but I'm yet to, because since there were cherry tomatoes, I removed some recently, and I'm waiting upon for the next 2 weeks to finish removing to harvest completely. Then after I will clean the garden and plant something else.
What is to remove?
Yes?
What is to remove? Don't tell me you're cutting down the tomatoes, because...
No. That's not what I mean. I mean that they've started fruiting. They've started bringing out the tomatoes. So after
These are the
harvesting,
tomatoes. These are the tomatoes you planted during the My Garden Challenge in October.
well, yeah.
Hey. So you're eating them, or what do you do with them? Do you sell them?
Well, I'm eating them because they're not so many.
They're not so many.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to share with us that blog someday, right? And we read. You talked
Yeah,
of
but I also started planting some carrots recently.
Do you have that farm ready? Maybe you can register carrots such that we know that you have shifted again from tomatoes. But we need to first see that tomato garden one more time. Maybe you can then switch us to carrots. We still want tomatoes from honey.
So let me go to the garden.
You want to take us to the garden this morning?
Tomorrow or today?
Today, if you're ready, we want to see the tomatoes today. If you're ready, but that is after Gabi.
Okay, fine. Then after Gabi.
After Gabi, you can go there. And you can quickly look for that registration and put your name there so that it is captured for purposes of finding out who is the best tomato farmer. We will be, of course, looking at that at some point. So you have to quickly register and tell us you'll be showing us tomatoes this morning. Is that understood?
Yes, teacher. Teacher, maybe you put that registration link in the chat.
I thought you knew where to get it. But I'll be putting it shortly. So tab is the tab getting the tab not ready? It is almost. It's almost. Mr. Dung, do we need to look at Hannah's tomatoes as we wait for Gabi to set up her tab? Or?
Yes, if we can, let's do that.
Hannah, are you ready, Hannah?
Yes, teacher, let me just...
I'll be sharing with you the registration link. Don't mind, after presenting, you can already register. Okay,
teacher, I'm running there.
You run. You first close the microphone and run. Then you...
Okay, I've reached. It's not far.
Hey, it's just in the compound. Maybe this is another story. You even have headsets this morning.
Can you see it very well? Or
I want to spotlight before.
Okay.
We are already there.
Yeah.
Is that maize? Anna, you've not told us about maize.
Oh, teacher, when I planted, I did harvest it because it was already on this whole part. We already ate like last week. So these are the tomatoes. Yeah. So those are the tomatoes mainly. The maize is just there for it just to grow.
Anna, we've seen those tomatoes before, so maybe what you can tell us this morning is how did you plant them? What inspired you to have those tomatoes? And what do you think you can have after that tomato garden? Are you looking back, or you can tell us how you started to plant it and did you buy the seeds?
Okay, well, when I start, can you hear me properly?
Yes, please.
Okay, then. When I joined the Help e-learning, and I was at first in the wrong classroom, but when I was in that wrong class, I had Mr. Dungu talking about my garden challenge for a while. I thought that maybe it was something for only those people who had already been there. So at first I had ignored it, but when after some time, it was the thing everyone was talking about. So I think I took it seriously and decided to try gardening since it was the place was free. There was nothing here because we had already planted tomatoes, harvested, sold some, took some to some people, and this place was free. So when I told my dad, he told me that I should plant tomatoes. So he helped me to dig holes in here where I can plant them, and I put them. At the beginning, some tomatoes dried up. I put seedlings, I put seedlings in the hole. At the beginning, some tomatoes were drying up. So when they would dry up, I would take them out and replace it with another tomato plant. So after around a week, after around 2 weeks, they stabilized. And since it was raining heavily at that time, I was watering them in the morning. In the evening, most likely in the afternoon at around 3 p.m., it would rain a lot. So I would not see the point of overwatering them. I would think that maybe their roots would rot. So I would only water them in the morning. And this place already has a lot of mulches on the ground, so it keeps the moisture inside the soil. So that was how I used to water. Then I was using a pesticide, but the pesticide turned on me. It wasn't doing what I wanted. And I did a lot of research to find out what can make tomatoes fail. And most people were saying that too much water, maybe you're using the wrong pesticide, maybe this, and that. So I decided that I should first leave the pesticide. Everyone here at home went with my idea. Even my aunt, she said that maybe first leave it and we first see. So it has been about 2 to 3 weeks when I left it, and they have gone back to normal. They are round, they are big. The ones which dried, some of them are coming back to normal, and I think the pesticide is done that turned on me. So after me realizing the problem, I had to just leave it. I know it wasn't a very good decision, because what if pests kept on attacking my tomatoes and I do not have what to fight against them with? Yeah. But had I continued using it, there was not going to be any tomatoes to protect because all of them were drying at a very fast rate. It's like every 3 days I would come to take out tomatoes and replace it with a new one. So I just had to leave that pesticide and go with something else. And then watering them, it started raining even in the morning. At night at around 11 p.m. it would rain. In the morning I'd find this place wet, and in the evening sometimes again it would rain. So for about 3 days I first stopped watering them to first let the rain to first reduce, because I also said that if you overwater a plant, the roots will rot, and if the roots rot, there is no way that plant can survive. So I first stopped watering for 3 days. That didn't cause any harm on the tomatoes. They kept growing the way they were growing, and yeah, that's how they are so far. And watering in the morning or in the evening, because in the evening it doesn't rain anymore. In the evening, sometimes it's just that rain that comes at around before midnight. It rains up to like 3 in the morning. There, I think up to 3, because I'm not awake at that time. So I water in the evening. If the place looks, I see that the tomatoes, it rained and our soil is still wet and is very soggy, and this soil doesn't become mud. That's not what I mean. But when it is soft and you can feel that it has some water in it, I don't water them. I fear for the roots to rot, and then I won't have anything at the end. But after these tomatoes, and you can see they have flowers. Let me walk there and I see. I think you can see these flowers. So those flowers come before they bring out tomatoes. They are yellow flowers. So after these tomatoes, and I received what I wanted, and I've just harvested everything, I will take it out and maybe search for something else to plant. But before I remove my tomatoes, I'm going to first plan and do some research on what crop I can plant best. And if it needs seeds, I'll buy seeds. If it doesn't need seeds, I won't buy seeds. And if it needs suckers, I will. So whichever I will plant next, I'll go with that. Maybe I can continue with this maize, but I'm not yet sure. But after these tomatoes, I will be sure to blog about it and see what I will plant next. Thank you very much. And that's my garden.
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah. I see you really love tomatoes, but while you were showing us your tomatoes, I think people really wanted to ask a few questions here and there. I don't know if you're ready for questions, Hannah.
It's okay. I'll answer what I can.
Okay, Wanyala Benas is a student of Mbalisis, and he does tomatoes. He loves tomatoes. Maybe he has a quick advice for you, or Benas,
Okay,
you can.
thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone at Holistic.
Good morning to you.
I want to thank my sister, Anna, who has also gotten courage like me to plant tomatoes. But to me, he has done a great job. He has done it well. But my advice to her is that, and my point to her is that when you water tomatoes, the roots do not rot. Tomatoes do not rot roots. Only that when you overweight them, or when you over cut out to watering, you only bring soil into the soil. You add more soil around the crop, around the roots, in order to maintain that warmth. Also, I see my sister's tomatoes. They have grown big, but they are not supporting sticks that will help them to bring out good yields. I would also advise her to go and get some supporting sticks to put them around, and he gets some ropes. He ties them each tomato on its own supporting stick. Thank you, sir. And I would also wish to know, where is that place exactly, and which type of tomato is that? Thank you. Back to you, teacher.
Okay, I think Benas, okay. Thank you very much for the advice, and thank you for telling me about the sticks. And that advice is very good. Thank you so much. You asked me where I think I stay, where this farm is. Okay, this farm is in Mukono, and from Mukono there is a place called Namamve, and in Namamve there is Chiwanga. So I stay in Chiwanga, and yeah, that's where this tomato garden is. And the type of tomatoes I'm doing, these are cherry tomatoes, because they are coming out very tiny of them. Let me try to show you. But let me try. Can you see them? If you can, that's good. Yeah, they are coming out very tiny. That's why I'm calling them cherry tomatoes, and they are not enlarging, because some of them I left them on the tomato and waited. They ended up falling off and rotting from the tomato plant. That was the worst decision I ever made. So they are cherry tomatoes, because they are cherry tomatoes. They don't grow big or anything. And this is how they have been. But yeah, these are cherry tomatoes, and I stay in Chiwanga. My name is Musime Hana, and I'm in senior 1 to be. Yeah, I think I've answered your question. Anyone else?
That question, I don't know whether it was an advice, but I think you didn't pick it well, Anna. It
Yes.
was advising you to, have you seen tomatoes grown before? Or you're
Yes.
trying
Yes,
it?
I
Have you seen the sticks they always use to support them?
Yes, teacher, I have seen.
Do you know the use of those sticks?
They help the stem to grow upright, and for them
Don't
to
you think your tomatoes are falling down?
Yeah, I think so too. But you see,
I think that is what you missed. I think that is what you missed, Anna.
Yeah,
and
basically it is what I missed, because I was meant to place them there, the sticks, but see, I forgot. And
yeah, that is what you missed. I also realized it today. That you must have missed that. But those cherry tomatoes, they're not bad tomatoes. You have to eat them. Don't wait for them and they fall again. You see them ripening, eat them. And someone was also saying that they look congested. And perhaps me, I saw when you were planting, you really had space. but the reason could be because they are falling down
Because I
and
didn't,
dropping.
yeah, I
They
didn't
are
put
dropping.
sticks. They were spaced
Yes.
and had lines in
Yes.
them. There were 4
Yes.
rows,
Even
but when I did not put sticks, they all combined and congested. Yeah. So
yeah.
I understand
So
the point of the sticks.
basically, next time you're trying it out, you need to now sit down and draw the costing. You see, I need seeds, I need sticks. If you get all of them, then you start. So the congestion, I think it is understood. And someone was advising you that when they get congested like that, you don't expect good yield. Maybe they compete for sunlight. And it could explain maybe the reason as to why maybe the yield is so small, given the fact that it is not a normal tomato. And next time, you really look for the tomato that maybe you want to plant. You just don't buy the seed from to look for that particular tomato. And you can always come here. You can request us to play a video of a farmer who was doing tomatoes. They always have that advice, and we have a big team here. They can advise you on which type of tomato you can plant and how can you get the seeds.
Yeah,
Understood?
I watched yesterday when this lesson was ending. They put a tomato growing video. Yeah, I watched it.
That maybe.
But I've
So you followed
understood.
that?
Thank you for. Well, they put the video yesterday and today, so they didn't do much change.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that will be the next planting you'll do. We shall
I think I'm going to.
this one. Can you go on?
No, you can finish up.
Okay, I was saying let this be like a curtain riser, and it ushers you into tomato growing, and you can make a good tomato farmer. All right, that is it from you. Maybe you'll be stopping your video at that point, unless if we have a question or an advice to this young farmer. Do we have anyone putting something across as she settles back here? Gabby, are you set? Gabby, open your microphone and let us know. You talked about your tab fading, but
Gabby is still recording. She's going to screen share in just a bit.
She's just recording the video.
Yes, she's going to screen share in just a bit.
Oh, okay. That is okay. I think that was... All right, Mr. Dung, we have Gabby, but I think she will be coming in later. And we need to find out if we have any other farmer here who is ready to take us to the farm. Your farm is next to you there. You may have registered, you may have not registered, but if you need to take us to your farm, you can always put up your hand and show us that farm. Benos, are you near your tomatoes or they are always very far?
Yes, sir.
Are your tomatoes near or they are very far? They told me to add
tomatoes. There is a very poor network.
You have to just record.
Yes, so I must take a video and then I just play video.
In Bali, where do you come from or where do you stay? Did you talk about Sironko?
I told you that I studied at Mbale, says right, but my original place where I plant my tomatoes, which I plant them in Blamburi in the place called Buruga Nyasoti.
Buruga Nyasoti.
Yes.
So your market is this other one called Camus.
Exactly. Then this one from Conan Google.
So you take there and sell your tomatoes there?
Yes.
Do they give you
now
good?
Benson is at 70,000. They're increasing a bit.
Do you have tomatoes you're selling at this time or you're stuck in cabbages?
Not really. My cabbage is about, but I have tomatoes.
Okay. That's good. Always record a video, let us know. You book time and we can always give you a chance to present. I'm going to share the registration link here. Sorry, I've forgotten to have it shared. So basically that is it. You just register with us and you show us. It can be a video. You can take us live like Anna has always done it. Gabby has always done it.
That's why I've seen my garden. You think?
I know. You only have those two.
No, there are more, but I'll take you.
Yeah, someday. I know someday.
There are more.
Okay. I'm looking for that registration.
I'm the one of pigs. I'll take next time. I'll take you to the one of pigs.
You're doing pig also?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's get the next farmer. You just put up the hand here if you're ready to take up your farm. Just put up the hand and you'll be given an opportunity to go and show us what you have in your farm.
Mr. Masawa, did I hear that Gabby is recording?
Gabby is shooting video. She told me she has failed. She's just shooting it, then she's going to play it maybe.
Okay, maybe we could go to another video, which will take us another probably 10 minutes. So somebody who is doing beef farming. Can we do that? Probably.
Yeah, I think so, Mr. Doing.
Okay, in the meantime.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Natujuka. I'm the Managing Director for Robran Holdings Limited, and at Robran Holdings Limited we own Robran Farms, where we are today. I'm so excited to share my story today with you. I am an agribusiness entrepreneur and my focus is livestock farming and livestock management. About 3 years ago, I started with pasture seed production in the project which was to commercialize pasture seed production in Uganda. And an organization called Churad was looking for entrepreneurs who were still in school and who were looking at earning while they are studying. And I was among those people that were selected to take part in the project. And we started with 2 acres of pasture. That was Croix Guyana and Lab Lab, which did actually very well in terms of production. But surprisingly, after producing the seeds, there was no market. There was nobody buying the pastures. And when I did my research, I found out it was because the farmers didn't have the information. The farmers, well, they needed the pastures, but they didn't know the importance of having pastures on the farm. So I embarked on the journey with my team to make sure that we train the nation on the importance of pasture management on different farms. Why do you need the pastures? What is the importance? What are they going to actually help you? Because as you all know, or as you may know, the livestock industry runs on 3 pillars. 1, which is management, 2, which is genetics, and 3, which is nutrition. and we found that nutrition was a problem everywhere. And yet, when you look at the running costs of the farm, 80% of this is going to be feeds. So we embarked on the journey to train farmers on how to plant, manage pastures, add value on the pastures for improved farms. And when we did this, surprisingly, we at least did 2 trainings which were free of charge. We trained farmers. We had to market on WhatsApp and Facebook. Then we got someone who gave us a hall, I think Dr. Abdul Chobuzi. Then we invited farmers and trained them for free. But after the training, surprisingly, we ran out of seeds. We sold everything that we had, even when we had to set our own price. So it was a very interesting venture for me and my team, and I decided to push it hard. I decided to make sure that we train each and every farmer all over the country about the importance of pastures, and we embarked on the journey to promote. We had land at Makerere University Agricultural Research Institute, where we started a partnership with the institute, and we could produce the pasture seeds, and then we could give them the hay. So with that, many farmers kept on getting interested. We were just finishing our university degree, and when we got done, we found there was still something lacking. And what was lacking? One, we needed more sensitization to sensitize many farmers with the importance of the pastures. And then we also found out that people were doing it wrong as far as pasture management is concerned. So we went ahead to say, now we can be the doctors for farmers in terms of pasture production, whereby we started taking on contracts. You hire us, we come at your farm, we plan your farm according to the objective you have. Maybe you're doing dairy, maybe you're doing beef, maybe you're doing goat farming, whatever. So we look at the enterprise that you want to do or you're doing, and then we suggest the pastures that you're supposed to take on. Maybe if you need to be producing hay, maybe you need Chloris Guyana mixed with Centrosima for the reasons I will give you. Maybe you need Bracalia mulatto that will give you high quality hay. So when you're looking at silage, so we are going to advise. Are we going to do maize? Are we going to do Napier grass? Are we going to do sorghum? So we look at the enterprise and be able to advise, and then we get a contract to establish you, help you manage the pastures, help you in weeding. And then when that was done, of course, there was also a very important activity, which is value addition on the pastures. So in value addition, of course, you're talking about hay, you're talking about silage, because this is the best form in which the animals are going to consume the feeds. And 2, there is a lot of need to store feeds for the animals. For example, you'll find that we have a rainy season and you have the pastures everywhere. You have the feeds everywhere. But when it starts shining, people do not have where to get the feeds. So teaching them value addition was a very important aspect. And then we started, of course, training farmers on hay making, then training farmers on silage making, then going ahead into also on the feeding. How do you feed the animals if you have really done this? And how do you manage the pastures? How do you do weeding? How do you do the planting? Everything. So we embarked on the journey to make sure that we trained the farmers in doing this. So over the years, we've written articles. Some TVs have come and we have had documentaries, NBS, so many of them, NTV, Dairy Monitor, New Vision. So write articles, inform the farmers, because the whole problem was information. I'm happy in the 3 years that now everyone who is starting a farm understands that I need to have the pastures. Those with farms, they also understand that we need to have the improved pastures. Why do we talk about the pastures in the first place? One, the grass and the legumes that we'll be promoting, first we look at the production. Land is reducing each and every time, but we need to keep the animals, we need to keep eating. We need beef, we need milk. So with less land that comes each and every time the population is growing, we look at those that are going to do high production per unit area. And we also look at the nutritional content, which pastures that will have the nutritional content. Because at the end of the day, as I always say, the animals are machines. And these machines are going to turn the low materials into the products that we need. So definitely we need high quality products. And that means we need to look at those pastures with high nutritional content. Then two, we also look at the digestibility and the palatability. Digestibility, the ability of that pasture to release the nutrients it has to the animals so that it can get to make you the product. That's beef or that's the milk. And then palatability is how sweet is the pasture or the feed to the animals. So with that, then pasture now has become something that every livestock farmer needs. And I'm so happy that at least there is that revolution from the work that we have been doing. We have set up new farms from zero. A farm, you find a bush, and then you, of course, as I always say, pastures first. Then we establish the pastures, we put the structures, and we look for high quality animals. Now that means I've covered all the three pillars that I talked about. So we have set up new farms, we have improved the existing farms by making sure that there is increased milk production, there is increased weight gain. Now, but of course there was a need for us to have our own center, and that our own center that gave birth to Robran Farms, where we are standing today. What do we have here? Here we have a feedlot as our major business, or as our major center or catch point. We are doing feedlots where we are fattening beef animals for the purposes of producing high quality beef for the Ugandan population. And why feedlotting? And what do we have here? First of all, as I always say, you must have the feeds first. Actually, before I opened up this farm, I first established pastures, and after establishing pastures, we did value addition. We made here, I think, around more than 150 tons. We made, we had planted pastures, especially we have a lot of forest Guyana here. We have giant panicum, we have sugar napier. So we first established pastures, then we added value. And after value addition, then we constructed a very, very, very simple a feedlot structure, but which is very simple for everyone who is starting. It can be a very good starting point. So after putting the structures, then we brought in the animals. Why feedlotting? Someone who has been following the beef industry in this country and vis-a-vis the dairy industry, we have had the dairy industry grow more than the feedlot industry. Actually, you will find that the beef that we have in the market is a worn-out dairy animals, very old dairy animals that are no longer productive on farms, or sick animals that have failed to recover. That's what people are calling the butchermen, and that's what we are eating. So the only way to improve the quality of beef in this country is feedlotting. Because with feedlotting, you're going to fatten animals which are young and help them grow fast and add the beef. So this is going to help you to have sweet and tender beef on the market. Our company happens to be part of the project that has been funded, it's actually ending, that has been funded by European Union to promote supplementary feeding in 10 districts. We have been working in the central and the western cattle corridor. So in that, we also had to teach people about feedlotting as one way of promoting supplementary feeding. So as someone who is encouraging people to do feedlots so that we are able to get very high quality beef, then it encouraged me to have a feedlot farm whereby people who are interested in beef animals, they will come and learn or people who are interested in fattening animals in a short period of time. Because here we say you're going to buy bulls, put them in a feedlot for 120 days and sell them off and bring others, and it continues. So there is making money there. So as one of the person interesting people to do this business, so I had to put out my own farm. So as I walk, they talk. So that gave birth to the raw brand farm today that you're seeing. Why? Because I believe if we are to do and make farming profitable, we got not to waste time. We have to follow the principles and we have to follow them right. If you are planting pastures, or if you're planting crops, make sure the land is fertile enough. One, make sure you use the right seeds. Make sure you do the right agronomic practices so that you get high production, and then you're able to get out the profits. Here we have 70 bulls and a small section of dairy animals, which is also being developed. Our plan is, there is something that I've been telling people. I do not believe in farms that do not make money, or I do not believe in advising farmers to go out there, start farms, and they are not making money. So as the country, as people who are in farming, we need to make sure that we are making money. And how? One of the reasons to why the farmers are not making money is middlemen. There's a lot of middlemen who extort farmers, who take money from farmers, and the farmers are left on the edge of not earning as much as they put in. So our plan is, our feedlot is in Wakiso, so our plan is to have beef selling points in Kampala. At least we hope to start with 2. And our plan is we are going to slaughter these bulls ourselves. So as we're able to give Ugandans high quality beef, which is produced at our farm here, and we save the day. So as we have training other farmers to come and start feedlots, as we are training more youths to come and join agriculture, we got to also put in the market prospect of it. So what we are doing is we are fattening these animals, and then after 4 months, we are going to open up beef selling points. So we shall be slaughtering and selling to the last consumer. The reason is, by doing that, we're going to actually maximize the profits. And then that means that we are able to grow the business. We're able to encourage others, because I do not believe in encouraging people to join a business that is not profitable enough. So by doing that, we are going to be able to give Ugandans high quality beef, and because when the animals that have been raised in a feedlot, the beef is different. So it is good for someone who is looking for quality to pay for that quality. I would say a feedlot business is a very profitable venture, but there are 2 things that you must look at. Actually 3. You must look at the age and the breed of the animals that you bring in a feedlot. One, you do not want to bring the breed that is not going to add weight. There are those breeds that are not meant for beef, and if you bring those in a feedlot, are not going to add the weight. 2, you do not bring young animals in a feedlot. We have done that here to check, and that's the results that we are getting out. Young animals are going to be having time to build the skeleton, so they're going to use some of the feed to build the skeleton, and they're not going to gain weight as much as you want. So you want to bring old enough animals that are going to concentrate on gaining the beef, and you want to concentrate on those breeds that are going to give you the beef. We are talking about the Brahman Ankole crosses, the Brahman, we are talking about the Brahman Ankole crosses, or Frisian crosses, but Brahman. We are talking about the brown Swiss. We are talking about the Smentos. Those are multi-purpose. Those animals that are able to gain weight and give us the beef. If you are planning to start a feedlot, what do you need? One, you need land where you're going to put the structure. You need land where you're going to put the pastures, and you need the water source as well, and then you need the source of the animals. Once you have those in place, then you're able to set up a feedlot. I've found many farms setting up very, very expensive structures. Our structure, it's a very, very simple structure that everyone can construct. When you move to most of the feedlots around, you'll find that even the exercising and illuminating area is having concrete. The structure becomes extremely very important, very expensive, and yet we are not selling the structures. We're actually selling the animals. And then you must have the pastures, you must have the feeds. There is no shortcut about that. And if you're going to concentrate on buying feeds from other people, then that means you must increase and have large numbers of animals, because definitely the profit per animal is going to reduce. So the cutting point is you have land where you're going to plant your own pastures, your own hay source, your own silage source, where you're going to plant the napier for silage, maybe maize, then Croix Guyana, Bracalia Mulato, and other pastures for hay production. Then you're going to also need legumes, and once you have that, then you put a simple structure, and then you're able to look for animals that are going to be able to gain the weight. And then you make sure there is enough water for the animals. How are we doing it here? We are feeding these animals on hay made from Croix Guyana, and we have a lot of silage made from sugar napier, and we are also adding in spent grain to increase, of course, the nutrition content of our feed, to make sure that our animals are able to gain weight. We do measurements. First of all, we have an automatic weighing scale here, and a feedlot restraining system, whereby the animals come in through a rodding ramp. They go through a crash and up to a place where we are doing the weighing from. And what's important there is I need to know how many kilos that the animal has come with. And through the feedlot restraining system is where we do the first things when the animals have come. We have to weigh the animals, we have to gum them, we have to put the ear tags on our animals, and then we have to weigh them. Why do we weigh them? We need to know how many kilos the animals come with. And actually me, I don't buy animals by looking at them, but we buy animals by weight. Live weight. So we need the weighing scale is extremely very important for our business. So we have to weigh the animals, and every week we weigh the animals. We want to know the progress. Where are we going in terms of weight gain? So every week we put the animals in the weighing scale. They have to go through the weighing scale, the restraining system, and then they come back. So in a restraining system in a feedlot, the animals, once they enter a feedlot, they only leave when they're going for slaughter. So it is a system that will have the animals stay within. So you see we have those troughs. Our feedlot has a structure has different. You see there is an area where the animals are feeding from. There is a concrete area where the animals are standing. Here where we're standing. Why do we have to make this area concrete? It's because the animals are going to spend most of their time here feeding, and we don't want it to get muddy. But when you look at the exercising and illuminating area, it is actually just concrete. It's just madam, which is compacted manner. And as you can see, it has been raining cats and dogs, but the floor is as still as strong as you can see. So there is no need of spending so much money making this area concrete, yet we can use that money to buy more animals and make sure that those animals have what to eat. We have a small dairy section, and the importance of that dairy section is to at least give us that daily income that will help us to keep running as we wait for these bulls to gain weight. So it is important for the farm to have the running costs as we wait for, because the bulls will take a long time to bring back the money that we have put in. So if you have some money from a small dairy unit, which we're expanding, we have 3 animals now. Within 1 month we are bringing more 4, and we are going to grow it slowly. So our major work, we train farmers, and whoever is interested in farming, we train and make sure that.
Gabby has told me here that her video is ready.
Okay,
I don't know how long.
Now let's go to Gabby.
Okay, Gabby, are you still here? Gabby, can you open your microphone? Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes, I'm here.
You can show us your video and we can get back to that.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, go on, please, Gabby.
I'm going to share the screen.
Okay.
Good morning, viewers, and
Can you see my screen?
Mr. Dung, are you able to hear that girl? I don't know if it is my side, but she's very breaking here.
Can you see my screen?
The screen is there. The screen is there.
But maybe it needs to rotate.
But now that is how she has shoot that video. Can you play it and we see? Can you play? Just play it. Gabby, just play it at that point.
Maybe we give her time. She's coming back.
That was network. Let me check if she has forwarded the video to me here, but I don't think I did tell her. Yeah. Her network was terrible. She failed yesterday. Today, I really don't know what will happen. Okay, Mr. Dung, I think we are getting late and we need to leave here. So I was thinking that maybe I will advise her to re-register and I can have that video play from here and we can welcome questions. She was preparing some poultry today. She deals with poultry and rabbits. So this morning she was showing us poultry, but I think poultry is not maybe next to where there is an access point, and where every time she was going there, she loses connection, and maybe we can have that video played tomorrow, and I can have a copy of that video in case she fails to play. I can always play it from here. Maybe Mr. Dung, you need to.
Okay, let's see if we can just complete that other video. If
Yes,
the
please.
members here can hold on a bit.
Okay.
They are given the knowledge on everything that is needed, the pastures, the structures, the selection of animals, the feeding, and everything. And we move the journey together with the farmers to make sure that they are successful. I'm always very pleased to educate the nation and educate everyone who is interested into the livestock sector. Whether you're doing beef, whether you're doing a dairy, whether you're doing goats, this is a home where we make sure that the knowledge that you need, all the knowledge that our farmers need out there, are given. So we have our YouTube channel where we always post different videos when we are teaching on different concepts, and we are very happy that the country is following, people are following, and they are actually putting things in practice. I believe that once we do the principles, once we make sure that we have the feeds, once we make sure that we improve and have good animals, then we are going to make a very, very successful livestock farming in this country. And we are going to make sure that farmers out there are opening up farms and are able to make money out of them. I want to thank you so much for watching and following. Hello, everyone.
Okay, maybe some people have one or two questions for the technical people here. They can be able to answer. Maybe I will start. Our agriculturalists here, I see that the animals are fed on dry grass, and yet we are used to seeing animals walk around in green grass. So what is the science behind the dry grass here? I don't know if we still have Patrick, Elizabeth. Maybe Patrick is gone. Elizabeth, teacher Elizabeth. Okay, maybe teacher Elizabeth is not there also. If you have any question, put it in the chat or raise your hand. You can always keep the question for the next person. Teacher Elizabeth, yes.
Yes, good morning, members. Dry grass is basically, it's called hay, and it's grass that has been dried out in the sun. It is fed on animals, mostly in areas where there are so many incidences of drought. And yes, its nutritional value is not as high as that in the grain or silage. However, it can be a good supplement in times of scarcity. It's a form of preserving pasture. And in some farms, it's actually mixed with other foods, probably bran, to try to add on its nutritional value. It's mostly a roughage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, teacher Elizabeth. So when we grow, when there is rain, we conserve, we keep, and then we use in the dry period. And also, as I hear, mix it with other additives or additions. And
yes,
for
to palatability.
Okay. And for dairy animals, I think that also contributes to the need to drink. And then when they drink a lot, then they produce the milk. But I also know I also know that there is a percentage. When you're feeding an animal, there is a particular percentage of its weight that it must feed. Teacher Elizabeth, is that something you have? Is there a particular percentage? If I'm 400 kilograms of an animal, how much feed should I take a day?
Yes, what I can say that for any feeding of an animal, it should always be a 70% carbohydrate, that is the roughages, the hay, the silage, and everything. And then the 30% should be a crude protein. Animals are able to utilize carbohydrate because of the first stomachs. They go through a very long process of digestion, which enables them to utilize these grasses more effectively than the other animals like the pigs, which have one stomach. So it's in their anatomy to have that capacity. Meanwhile, you may not give this to pigs and they utilize it effectively like our cow or a goat would have done. For any feed mixture, it should be a 70% carbohydrate and a 30% crude protein. Yeah, and every animal, every body weight has, every stage of the animal has a different requirement, a different nutritional requirement. Growing animals may mostly require a certain percentage of protein because of the growth. Yeah, so they can.
Okay. I wanted to find out the quantity of feed, the number of kilograms of feed the animal should eat. If I'm 400 kilograms, how much should I feed on that is acceptable, that is recommended in terms of quantity? That is what I was trying to look for.
Hey. Miss Adong, I may not exactly have that with me, but there is a method of it's called the Pearson square. It's very necessary when formulating animal feeds, depending on the age and because depending on the stage or the age of the animal. It's a food rationing formula. I'm sure some people have heard of it. Yeah. So I may not, it requires some calculations. There is some mathematics there when formulating those feeds.
Okay, I think that is the scientific approach to farming that we are talking about. And
Yes.
that holistic e-learning platform, we would like to get these questions on this platform and get some knowledge about them. Otherwise, when we look at our farmers out there in the villages who take the animals to graze, I wonder whether the animal can be able to get either the 70% carbohydrate and 30% protein, and then also eat enough so that it can grow, if it is a dairy animal, to produce the right milk, or if it is a beef animal like Robran has been talking about, so that in 4 months' time, you can get the weight you want so that you sell the animal. I think these are the questions that we need to focus on here and go back to our villages, go back to our families and support better farming. Gabby, your hand is up. Gabby, your hand is up.
I was saying that I'm back.
Okay, can you try? Do you have the rights? Maybe I give you the rights and you try and we wind up with you, Gabby. Try now.
Let me try now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Gabby, you can try to play it and see. and it seems you have a good network now.
Morning, viewers, and at this time I'm taking the feeds to the chicken. Here's the food. I'm going to show poultry. I've reached. So this is the poultry house. Before I enter, I have to first put on gumboots, because when you reach up there in slippers, they can bite your legs. So you have to be careful and put on. Here we are. Early in the morning, as you can see, we have no food, like very little rain. Most of our food is done. Yes. So I'm going to start feeding them. Yes, what I use to measure my food is this bucket, and this bucket weighs about 5 kilograms, and so I give them 2 of these buckets, 2. So that's and then I put the food in here and use hand lighting to put the food in the feeders. So put the food. You have to be very careful not to pour the food down, because we bought this food with money and you don't have to waste the money. In each part I put one pan. I put the food just like that. Then go to the next. Still put one pan. At the next. And put it in the next too. As I said, you have to be very careful not to pour the food. Then you also put it. And whenever we are putting the food, we have to remove these like those ones, because like if you just kisses, like when it eats it, so it that and clean the feeder. When they were clean, they didn't have them. And there are these two bricks. Why we have to raise the food is to also prevent these.
Some stuff I think we got breakdown. Gabby, I think the hello Gabby, can you listen, Gabby? Gabby? Hello.
Yes, I can listen. Yes.
Yes. We
Yes,
are
please.
okay. We are requesting if you can reshoot that video when somebody is filming nicely, because we are missing. We are not getting a good picture. I don't know if it is only me. We are not seeing exactly what's happening, and yet it is a very interesting video. Is it possible that you can find a time when you shoot and somebody holding the camera is very focused so that we get the video right?
Okay.
But continue playing a bit, because I see as if it is clearing here also. You continue playing a bit and we see what we see in the next 5 minutes. Okay, Gabby, we have topic there. I think Gabby's network is also not good, but also the video. Okay. Gabby, try to share that video with Mr. Masava. Mr. Masava, you will look at it. It could be just that her network is not very good. The video could have been shot nicely.
Let me find out.
Network. And then we can always have it on another day. But if it is not well shot, then request that she shoots again with a stable focus on what she's doing. Somebody needs to help her.
Gabby, she had gone off, Mr. Dung. I need to re-echo. Gabby, can you have that video shared with me? And we see if it was shot, not if you rotated it while you were shooting, and we see if we can rotate it such that we can have a good view. Let me have it and we see. And if it's not a good video, we can have another one shot, but around the same poultry. And I also noted that whoever was holding your phone shaked a lot. Maybe you can always position the phone at one point, then you go to the other side and have it recorded. May I have that video? And I will see what to talk about it. Mr. Dung, I think you have to proceed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Gabby, and thank you, everyone. This morning, we're able to listen in to the history teacher. We shall be posting all these videos somewhere on our website during the Christmas break, so that next year you can find all these videos and make use of them. And we shall be recording more videos of farmers, including you yourselves who are coming out as strong farmers. We will need to visit you. We need to come to Mukono, where we saw Amanya. We need to go to Gabi I don't know where Gabi is. We have somebody who is in Masaka. We have somebody in West, and then we have our friend in Mbale. So we'll be visiting to make sure that we reach the sites and record better presentations, probably at some good point, even if it is next year. With that, I want to wish everybody a good day, and let us catch up again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.